Many men have nothing to smile about. Been broke down, too proud to cry it out. Walk a mile in my boots and you know what I'm about. I took some licks and I took some hits and I found out them bones can actually break sticks. But them words are powerful as shit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let the Paint Dry. As always, we are so thrilled to be here this morning in Tacoma and to be able to share with you and to be able to just share what's on our heart this morning. And we open with a song, as always. Hey, oh, oh, yeah, oh, when it's sunny outside, I am trying to put the crown on your head. When it's lovely in your life, I am trying to put the crown on your head. When your life becomes dark and dreary, I am trying to put the crown on your head. Lift up your eyes to the hills where your help comes from. 'Cause I am trying to put the crown on your head. Put the crown on your head. Put the crown on your head. I am trying to put the crown on your head. I said I am trying to put the crown on your head. Some days may be filled with dark stormy clouds. Some days may be filled with an even kill, but I'm trying to put the crown on your head so you can see, what you're truly worth. I'm trying to put the crown on your head so you can see what you're truly worth. I said I'm trying to put the crown on your head. I'm trying to put the crown on your head. I said I'm trying to put the crown on your head so you can see who you really are. Lift your head up to the sky and look to the hills where your help comes from. There you have it. We're feeling a little extra, I think, today. Just getting a little bit more on the edge there, which is all right. There's a little bit of energy. And maybe it's the Red Bull, or maybe it's just because the sun's out. I don't know what it is, but let the paint dry. Here we are. And behind all of the breathing and the songs, there's a lot of hustle. There's a lot of hustle to keep this going. And I was thinking about that. I had a conversation before I got here with some people that I'm partnering with the art and putting it out. And we were talking about hustle. They asked, what is your podcast about? And I said, it's a song and then whatever's on my mind, whatever, it's a blank slate. I have a blank slate of nothing most of the time, and I just go. And some of you probably can tell, but some days it turns out all right. So I'm just thinking about behind the songs and the breathing and the kind of therapeutic tone of Let the Paint Dry is the podcast is hustle. There's a lot of hustle behind this. There's a lot of work. There are, we have our art all over. Any opportunity we get, we put our art into buildings and businesses and spaces, and any opportunity we get to go sell, we show up and sell. We show up and we meet the people. We do what we say we're going to do to the best of our ability. And if we're not, there's a good explanation. And I don't think there's a substitute to that piece right there as we move in the world as entrepreneurs and soulpreneurs and business people and small business people and big business people. That is one thing that never gets old. It never expires. It never expires to do what you say you're going to do. Show up on time, live a life of integrity. Somehow that never gets old, and in the complicated world that we're in, and the closer we get to November 3rd, which I think we have a podcast on November 3rd, the closer we get to it, the more intense and the more pressure and the more anxiety and the more fear is probably going to be ramped up through so many different platforms. But we have a choice. We have a choice to be those people, to be people in a community that are kind to each other, that are respectful. And I'm saying this as a black man who is a black man who has a lot of had to deal with a lot of rage, had to deal with a lot of pain, but we still have an opportunity to hold ourselves in a space of honor and a space of respect and a space of understanding and a space of self-care and a space of love. And that's what I'm choosing to do in this season as I see things ramp up in my neighborhood and people are putting, I might be the only house that doesn't have a sign on this front letting people know where I stand. Being as big and black as I am, that's my sign. So, but seeing everybody kind of divide in my neighborhood this morning when I went out to get coffee, I am reminded of kindness. I'm reminded of what we have an opportunity to do. I'm reminded that we have an opportunity here to make powerful impact on people's lives. And a lot of people are really stressed out. A lot of people are on the edge. A lot of people are past the edge. But in that environment, those who are able to see a better way of living, a better way of thinking, and those who have the capacity. Sometimes you don't have the capacity, but if you do, count yourself blessed, count yourself privileged, count yourself as in a position to make a huge impact on somebody's life if you have the wherewithal to hold people and to hold space for dignity, for respect, for care, for love. If you have extra and it's in your heart to share with others because you have overflow, oh my goodness, you're a world changer. And that's kind of where we are today. That's where we are in this season. That's the opportunity that we have before us. So that's kind of like just on the brim of my heart. And I'm also thinking about, as I sat down, I was thinking about the plan is in November, because we have the art show. We have an art show in South Puget Sound Community College in their gallery space. They have one gallery there on campus. We're part of a group show, and they're featuring African-American artists in the Olympia area. And everything that I've seen so far is just gorgeous. So I have 5 pieces, 2 paintings, 3 sculptures. Please check out the show. But what we also have is on November 5th, I have I thought I was going to do artist talk, but I got signed up for a performance. So I have from 4:30 to 6 to perform. So what I decided to do was get my little sister from California to come up here and do a performance with me. So that's what's coming up. And she is an artist herself. She's a singer. She's a world-class singer. And we're going to tear the roof off the place and put it back on when we're done. and everybody can join via Zoom. And I don't think we can have an audience yet. I think that's kind of like no for right now. But if there is chance for an audience, I'll let you know. But just thinking about me needing to bring home here, needing to bring my little sister here, someone that I sang with for 30 years or more, give or take, not sure. Stopped counting at 25. And I needed to bring home here. So that's the plan. We're working out the details to bring Lilia Johnson here to the Northwest to share her voice. And when she sings, the ancestors sing. When she opens her mouth, it's just one of those things. And she's been that way since she was like, I don't know, since she was born. But when we noticed was probably around 2 or 3. And it's 5 children total. And we toured all over the U.S. for many years singing as a family. And so I have the honor of getting my baby sister up here to share her voice and talent. So send good thoughts for that. But it just really gives me, I just felt this desire in this season to bring home here and to bring what we do as a family, what we learned how to live and how to combat the negativity in the world is we do these healing circles. We do singing that is healing, that is sonic healing and sonic vibration. And that's why I sing in these shows is it's a grounding. And our desire is to share that with those that can hear what this is about. And this is a practice that we learned from elders in our life that passed this very long, I don't know how many years old of singing, of medicine music, of singing songs. And it's not necessarily a performance. It'll have a performance element to it. But for us, it is breathing, it is life, it is letting the paint dry. It is this process of sonic release and a vibration. So as I think about that and I get excited and I want to mention it now that it's coming and she's a powerhouse energy and she'll be coming and here to share her spirit. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled about that. And thinking about in these times, like, this is how we survive. This is how we thrive. It's so surreal to be in this space that we're in because there's multiple things that are needed and it's not always clear on what resource you need to tap into to heal yourself as a Black person and to support yourself. And that's one of the things we want to share with the younger group of people, with the people, those that are ready to listen, those that are able to listen. And we understand if you're not. And but if you're able to listen to, there's things that have happened in different states and in the state of Washington and around Black bodies that cause so much deep pain, that cause rage, that cause hurt. And then there's a rehashing of that pain when you have to talk about it or when someone talks about it or when it's brought up on the news. And so we're really interested in bringing this kind of healing, this kind of balm, if you will, into the lexicon, into this space, into the spaces and platforms that we have access to, and realizing that it's okay however you show up. If you show up enraged, it's okay. There's times, this is a time to be enraged. If you show up just broken and disconnected and numb, that's okay. That's the season. It's time for that. If you show up happy-go-lucky and just like full of joy and giddy, that's okay. And it's okay for those things to exist simultaneously next to each other. And so I want to just like speak out and name that it's okay for all of those things to exist as we are humans, and we have to show up with our full self. And we're not just enraged. That's a piece. There was a season where I was enraged for a long time, but that wasn't my whole self. And I had to work through that. I had to work through that rage. I had to figure out what container, where was a safe container that I could put it in, and how close was that container metaphorically going to be to me. So I had to figure all of that out. And we're all on this journey, and this journey is not a fast journey. We don't learn these things that we're having to confront in our world today. The skills that it takes to confront these, the personal growth, doesn't happen in 5 minutes, in a few days. It happens over time. It happens over maybe years, and it's a slow process. And so for those of us that have done the work, maybe we were ahead of the curve, or just caught it, understood it maybe before most people. Our job is to not really even worry about that and make that a thing to let ego creep in, but to just be patient, to find a space to give more patience and more understanding. And that's my challenge right now, is to really look at those in my circle and those that I come in contact with, and be able to have a great amount of patience. And a lot of that allows me to do that is self-care. Self-care has been something that I've been working on and still tweaking, making major moves on self-care in order to be in a physical and a mental and a spiritual place to support growth of people around me. And I started it in the spring, and it really was like it was a conscious shift. And then physically making space in my house, like physically making room, and then scheduling time to give self-care and to recognize what my body needed, and to recognize, like, sometimes you need a drink to take off the edge. Sometimes you need to sustain completely. And those are things that you sort through and you learn how to do. That's just one example of self-care. And that has been my journey from, it was the spring of this year, spring of 2020, and through the summer. And it just became the focal point was wellness, and wellness with Black bodies. And that's something that Black folks, many times, we are not used to, because we're walking around with so much distress and we're holding so many buckets, so to speak. But it has become a huge part of my focus for my personal life. And I definitely want to share it and share this full practice of self-care on a personal level, and then self-care as a spiritual practice through music, through meditation, through poetry, through writing practices. All these things I partake of, and it's all, my whole art practice and my whole Let the Paint Dry is a spiritual wellness practice and it's also a business too. So it's it's multi-layered. So it has all those components to it. And the wellness part supports being able to do the business part, being able to show up fully when it's time to do a sale, when it's time to show up for customers, when it's time to actually do the work, the painting. All of it is kind of the work, but the central part of what I do is I'm a painter, and then sculpting is now got this huge space in my life, but a painter. So showing up every day for myself as a painter in front of the canvas, that is a huge part of what I do. And it's all supported off of a wellness support system. So, water has been so crucial. Just getting enough water, right? So just keeping that at the forefront. And all of the artists that I contact and talk to, I always ask, have you had water today? Have you had a break today? Have you had a break? And then if you've had a break, if you're doing a bunch of admin work, have you had time to do creative work? Because as functioning adults, or non-functioning, however you put it, as adults, being able to find time to have a creative practice takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of discipline. And this is a very, very crucial time to have creativity in your life, because things are so stressed. Things are so uncertain. So that's just some of the things that I've been thinking about, like yesterday and today, and just putting together. And also something to kind of like switching gears a little bit, but a little promo. So we just put art in Cider Barrel in Olympia. It's downtown. And we put several pieces in there. I think about nine pieces in there. So those will be available for sale. And we're going to so those will be featured in the Olympia Art Walk. They're going to do that this year with all the COVID restrictions and everything to keep everybody safe. And then it'll be a running thing after the art walk is over. We'll still keep art in that space. And so that's a third space that we have art in. The show, The Future's Rising, is going to open October 5th, so in a few days here. And it's going to run all the way until December 11th. So I believe you can schedule time to go in and see it in person. It'll also be virtual. And I'll have links. I'll put links on my Facebook and links on Instagram as well for that. And so that, I think about 9 artists are participating, give or take. And so I've heard a lot of good things. I haven't seen all of the work, but I've seen bits and pieces, and all of it looks wonderful. So check that out. And then Cider Barrel, go in there, check out everything they have. I think they even have food as well, like small sandwiches and whatnot. And they have a ton of cider, hard cider and wine as well. So check that out. Check the art out. Check the vibe if you're down in the Olympia area. And then here at BD Local, we have a bunch of beautiful paintings here in the lobby. So definitely check this out. And then there's possible third places. And if you are a business and want art to be hanging, just contact me. Let me know. We'll work it all out, get it all squared away. But it's a beautiful season to be able to share my art in these spaces. I'm grateful for it. And I want to name it here on the podcast. All of that is a part of the business and is a part of the brand and a part of getting this thing out. And this thing is just me as a human being, artist, creative, showing up and being present and putting my energy and heart in the world. And so there's a great level of appreciation that I have for these spaces. So wanted to share all that with you. And as we think about, I always want to encourage other artists. So the world needs your art. There's some place that it can go. And I think people's visual IQ is very high. So they will find what they need to do with your art. They will find use for it, like a spiritual use for it, an emotional use for it. They will find use for whatever your art is. So I look forward to seeing other artists. I need your art, and it fuels me. It keeps me inspired, and it's something that I like to name and not take for granted, is the need for other artists and the need for people's creativity. I enjoy it all. So those artists that are out there that I'm connected to, I love you. I love your art. Thank you. It's life for me. So that's just something that I've been thinking about and wanting to name and seeing other people create and not being able to say it as clearly as I want to, how much I appreciate that. So yeah. So I'm feeling maybe some sort of song of some sort, and then we'll get to whatever else is on the blank list that we got going. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dee, dee, dee. Dee, dee, dee. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying for the light. I've been praying for the light. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying praying all night long. I've been praying, praying all night long for you to see how precious you are. I've been praying, praying all night long. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying all night long. I've been praying all night long for you to see how precious you are. I've been praying all night long. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying all night long for you to see how precious you are. Mm-hmm. 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 I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind. I've been praying all night long. I've been praying all night long. I've been working on my heart. I've been praying all night long for you to see how precious you are. I've been praying all night long. I've been resting in the valley low. I've been resting in the valley low to come and tell you how precious you are. I've been praying all night long. I've been praying all night long for you to hear the message in my songs. I've been praying all night long. I've been praying all night long. It's a melody that reverberates my heart. It's a melody that I have to sing. I've been working on my heart. I've been working on my mind for you to see how precious you are. I've been working on my heart. Let that breathe for a bit. Thank you, each and every one who watch, follow. Thank you for your work that you're doing. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for being kind to each other and letting that energy resonate. You can follow me on Travis Johnson Studios on Instagram, travisjohnsonart.squarespace, and on Facebook, Travis Johnson. Like I always say, good luck finding me. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And this is always a pleasure and a joy. Go do good work. Do work that matters. Walk in love and let the paint dry.